Greetings, listeners and viewers. Your host for the night, Zach, here introducing you to The Call, our Call of Cthulhu podcast by Twisted Gears Studios. If you're a fan and wish to support, visit our merch shop and Ko-fi page, where members get extra content, fireside chats, discounts on merch, and more. Otherwise, a like, comment, sub, or review in your podcast app of choice is always helpful. But for now, last minute, our investigators, Amos, Agatha, and Simon have gone for a late-night interrogation of Gohl, while Althea and Marion sleep.
Hello. We're back again. Same shirt, so you know we're doing it the same night. Although I used to always wear the Freddy Krueger sweater, so it would be hard to tell. But I don't really care right now. Okay, so we're going to jump right back into it. A little bit of information out of Gohl in his trance-like state. We're just going to go right back into that, but I'm going to take a little segue over to Althea. Althea.
Yes.
You just wake up. You can't really remember your dreams, but you're like in this bit of a fog, right? Mm-hmm. But something, it's like the feeling, you know when you're asleep and you get, sometimes it's through a dream and sometimes through itself, you get this feeling of urgency and you just wake up with a start. Mm-hmm. That's sort of what happens. Mm-hmm. And you're not entirely sure, but in your mind you hear like a click. You're not sure if it's your mind or your ear, but like a click, as if the entranceway to the theater with the bookshelf just clicked closed.
Oh, shit. I was worried about that.
Yeah. It's just a little click, but you just throw it out of your mind because it's like, you know, you just woke up with the start. And
it's a big house. It clicks a lot.
You're not sure. It's almost just like settling. Like the house has been settling for 100 years or whatever it is. It's what houses do, but
they click and settle.
As you wake up, and you feel warm. Mm-hmm. You just feel warm, like flushed, as if you've been in the heat. You just feel
like I've been walking through the desert on a horse with tentacles for legs. I wouldn't want to name that.
Oddly specific.
That's wrong. I would.
Yeah. But you just sort of wake up with a start, and you get this feeling of urgency, and you're not sure what it's from, but there's something going on in the house that you're seeming drawn to.
I mean, that's par for the course at this point, isn't it?
you're not sure.
Okay.
The reasoning behind it, but you like just wake up with a start.
I woke up like drooling on the desk or whatever, and then just sat up.
Yeah, sat up. Ooh.
Okay.
And did you want to try to follow that feeling? There's something going on in the house, and you got this sense of something. Yeah, and you really want to follow that house. Feeling. Can you put a tick into the yellow mark?
No! No!
Oh my god.
Yes.
I feel like I slowly actually heard the bill.
I would say yes to that.
As you get up from your desk and you start walking. Open up the door, walking down the hallway, and you get this sense just following. You get to an intersection, like because the house is really big, and you're not sure where to go, and you start going left. Oh, that doesn't feel right. And there's something that's drawing you down a specific path in the house, and that's what you start following, right? That's what you agreed to, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Back to Agatha and Amos.
Okay. Just got the answer. Where's home at the standpipe?
Yes, the standpipe. And as that happens, Simon has his little notepad, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure, but it's something about a gate. Something. No peace or safety at the gate." That's what was said. Something to do with a struggle at a gate.
That was the Egyptian.
Yeah, that's what was said.
We heard that phrase lately. Recently, we heard that phrase.
The book, the journal or whatever.
The moist book, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh wait, that's my
the scroll. What was it? They are coming. No peace at the gate, or they are at the gate, or something like that.
In the Moist Glyphs book?
I think it was Moist Glyphs.
Yeah, it was. Liz was like,
I
was
think,
translating or like
I
making notes.
think it was
or
something
Marion was.
along those lines. I believe it was last episode.
Yeah, I
last
think it
time
was
we
one. Yeah,
recorded. There was
it was the scrawl at the end that is starting to become unlegible.
or was in the bottom part of
Yeah.
one of the front covers.
No safety at the gate. Printed and shaky, whereas the rest of the book is in cursive.
And it's
And this is
Oh, That's not in the Moist
No,
Glyphs
it's not
book. It
Moist
was
No,
Glyphs.
it's
in
not in Moist Glyphs. It's in Divermis Mysteries.
That's what it
spell
was.
book. Yeah, it's
Sorry,
in the
I
spell book.
apologize. It was
That's-
in the Vermis
they were using to
Mysteries.
spell
And it's
things.
on the cover page underneath Ludwig's name.
Ludwig Prynne? No. You also know that Ludwig Prynne had traveled the world finding information. He had spent quite a amount of time in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Give me 1 sec here. Just gotta write this down. What was Prin? Prin?
Ludwig Prynne. Yeah, Prinn.
So I'm gonna ask him. Connecting that together because we literally just talked about that. That was literally like 2 hours ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who is Ludwig Prin? Let's see what that does.
Right? Now, once again, it's sort of little twitch, little tick,
Yeah.
and it becomes something else. You know, Gohl, it seems like a different voice, or like similar to one of the more confident thing. It's like, Ludwig Prynne, scholar. He knows not what he does. He reveals the gate. That's what's said.
Augustus?
There's no reply. Yeah. Actually, I shouldn't say that there's no reply. I shouldn't say that. But I am going to ask you to roll me something when you say Augustus. Okay? Because you're more focused on keeping him in the translate state. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't do this. I would actually probably... I know you have psychology and investigation, correct?
Yes.
I would actually call this under investigation. I think investigation is your highest. I think I would call this under investigation.
10% out of 70.
10% out of
Nice.
70. You see the way the face moves. It has all the body language or facial things of fear.
Whenever I say the name, he looks afraid.
Well, this time, when you said Augustus, the face showed fear. You're not sure fear of what it is, but that very quick. It's almost as quick as it comes, it goes away. But you being an investigator, you being able to read people in these situations and stuff like that, like there's this feeling of fear from it.
Oh, this is a shot in the dark. Okay. How many of you are there?
Are you asking about voices?
I'm just going to ask it exactly like that.
Stays into that confident. I actually should read this. Okay, so it stays in that confident
Okay.
voice, as before, almost like snide. You know, that the tone of it is. What was the question exactly again?
How many of
Okay.
you are there?
There's just me. There's only ever been just me. And you see the eyes go fully black. No whites. The eyes just go fully black, and you and Agatha and Simon as well feel this wave of power emanating from Gohl. Like, you know what I mean? You can feel like almost like a loud bass. There's no sound, but you get that feeling of.
And who the fuck are you?
So that's what's said. And just as this wave of power is coming off, there's a knock on the door. The steel door. There's a knock. And Althea, you seem to be drawn to this steel door for Gohl in his prison. But when you go to open it, it's locked from the inside. And it's like, what's going on? So when you knock on the door, Simon and Amos and Agatha, you all just sort of look at each other. And Simon's like, who is it? But there's no sound because it's complete. But there is a slat, like a thing.
Can Gohl's cell can be unlocked from the outside, yeah?
Yeah, it should be built that way, I'm assuming.
I'm going to close us in.
Okay.
Close the door, and then make a notion to Simon and be like, lock this door before you unlock that door.
As soon as you close that door, it just automatically... Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You can't even really see because it's see-through. You can't even really see the mechanism that keeps the door closed.
Magic.
But, Skeet is just a genius when it comes to envisioning something and then creating it. Just a genius.
Close that,
God,
so that way Gohl doesn't have any opportunity to escape should that door open up.
So what happens, though, I'm just going to keep it with Simon, because I can't do two things at once.
Yep.
I'm going to keep with Simon as he realizes his mistake, and it's just like, he hates looking stupid in front of Divot over there.
You can tell Alistair he was stupid.
Oh, Alistair's going to hear about this. That's what he says. Alistair's going to definitely hear about this. And he opens up, you know what I mean, the little panel, and there you are, Althea.
Simon?
We're questioning Gohl. And as you look past Simon, you can see inside the room with Gohl is Agatha massaging Gohl's head. Seems to be down in some kind of trance-like state. And you can see Amos, and they're both inside the cage with... Boomer! Inside the cage with... And Simon's there,
Okay. I'll just put either one of my hands on the door, on the other side of the slat, and say, "What's going on? What's going on in there?"
Oh, we're seeming to get more out of Gohl. He's in some kind of trance-like state, and he's speaking in Egyptian. And
Egyptian?
Yeah, and in some weird other language, but we're trying to figure out, he was talking about his home, and we're just trying to figure out where. Basically, what this is, because you've been listening to the episode, he relays shorthand pretty much what has happened. Okay, so you've already listened to it, and that's what Simon does. He just relays sort of shorthand, but you can also feel this slight wave of energy. Almost.
How do I feel about that energy?
You feel like you need to make a willpower.
Oh,
Oh my god.
should have asked that question.
I was going to call for it anyway.
All right. 59 out of 80.
Yeah. So it's a good thing. Now, this is also now, just to be clear, this is also a save in regards to the yellow mark that you have and the abilities that you have. This is what this willpower roll is. I believe your willpower is now lower than 80 when it comes to making those checks. I believe it's only at a 75.
Yes. So 59 out of 75.
Yeah. Let's be completely clear.
No, that's correct. Actually, it's 70.
It's 70.
I have two of the...
Each permanent tick lowers it by 5%.
Yeah, so...
You have 2 permanent ticks.
Okay.
When it comes to this.
Why?
But no, you still
Yeah.
Hey, it's a slippery slope. As you just, it's almost like you get this feeling of fight or flight that comes over you. Predominantly fight. And it's almost like your body moves into like a defensive stance. Not a scared defensive stance, but a we're gonna go stance. That's what you sort of feel, but you just like push it aside, and you're just like, I'm better than this. I'm rich.
I have people to fight for me.
That's right.
Yeah. Some of them are in there.
Some of them are in there.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Simon's looking at you with his eyebrow up, like he noticed something about you. Like he just noticed this little...
Can I come in?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, yeah. You're okay, though?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Just,
He's just looking at you a little bit weird, but in the end, he's just sort of like, I want to see what happens.
And while he's
Aren't we all?
when he opens the door and I walk past, I say, "Nice blouse."
Yeah. I don't know which cousins of yours it was, but I make this look good.
Believe her name.
And he does.
And I say, her name was Martha. That's what it said.
Yeah. Martha.
Martha, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I gotta make a note then. Another cousin name.
Yep. So many cousins.
Silky blouse.
Cream silky blouse. Okay.
Hey.
As you come in, at this point, I am just gonna go right back to two of you.
Okay.
I'm assuming that you and Simon will if you're going to talk, are going to talk low, but you're not going to try to interfere with the conversations.
No. If not,
And I would never force somebody, a PC to do something like that. But I'm just going to say you and Simon are just standing there sort of watching, and we can move back over. Here, there's just a wave of power.
Yeah. The last bill.
before they start again, can I just ask Simon if I can read the notes he's made already?
He's like, oh,
While they're
yeah.
continuing.
And he sort of is holding his little notepad, and it's like this, like a proto-Egyptian script, and he has pieced and then written in English is sort of no peace or something like, or is it rest, or is it safety, or is it help, or and gate, and he has gate circled, and it's just sort of very analytical, laid out. You've seen the way Marion writes the shorthand, her shorthand and stuff, and it seems very similar. And you realize as well, you would think, oh, Marion must have learned that from Simon. And then you start really thinking about Simon, and you're like, no, Simon learned that from Marion. Sorry once again, Marion.
That's fine.
Enjoy, but you're getting some well-needed shut-eye.
Hey, she went to secretary school.
Yeah. Oh, you're much more than that now.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
that there's
now,
any issue.
But I'm just saying.
But you're...
She didn't need to learn it from Simon.
No, exactly.
So over the course of that exchange, the very next question when the eyes went black was, who the fuck are you?
I'm the end. The end is the beginning, is the end, is the beginning. You can't keep me here. And then the eyes go back to normal. And you realize... Actually, I'm going to call for Lindsay at this point. Sorry, Agatha. I'm going to call for Agatha to roll me a psychoanalysis roll at this point.
With bonus still, or no?
Not a bonus for this roll.
No.
Not a bonus for this roll. The bonus was to put him under the trance. This is something...
Else. 29 out of 78.
29 out of 78. You realize that it's not random. This switching? It's not random.
Okay.
You think that whatever or whoever was just speaking, Gohl in his sort of subconscious mind drowned it down. Gohl himself, or the Gohl that you know, bottled it up, forced it to shut up. Right?
Okay.
Keeping it in place.
All right. If that is the case, then I'm going to turn to you and say, I think we're going to stop, and I'm going to put him right full into trance.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to lead Gohl out of the trance because I want him to wake up first to shut it down and then get him back to sleep.
Okay. As you start doing that, there definitely is a complication.
Oh, no! Okay.
So, as
Okay.
as you start drawing out of the trance, right? And it seems to be working. I mean, I'm not going to call for another roll for this. It seems to be working. Where you draw him out of the trance, trying to, and then bring him to a place where he can rest properly and do stuff like that. What happens, though, is at a certain point, as you're trying to draw out of it, his hand shoots out. And it covers... Where were you bit?
I was actually covered on the neck.
God damn it!
And it doesn't choke,
No.
but the hand shoots out, and you feel a throbbing.
Oh.
Like-
of where. Yeah, I'm just going to immediately
Yeah.
get the feeling. And what you see is Agatha's head go back and the eyes roll up into whites.
My?
Yours.
I?
And then you can see the white eyes roll up, and then you also see Gohl's eyes go up as there's a grasp on you. I'm going to need you to make a check, and then you can have your reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's my check?
So I am.
What have we done? What have we done? Oh no!
Find out.
Oh no!
I am actually.
I left my water outside. No!
Well, you went all dry mouth and panic.
Yeah! What have I done?
I need you to make 3 checks in a row.
Oh my god. Okay.
Didn't we just have a whole conversation about? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, there's going to be 3 checks because I need to know how. I don't want to use too many words because it's going to sort of explain the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
But the first check is going to be straight up POW check.
Okay.
First POW. What is it?
That is a 15 out of 70.
Cool.
Yes.
That is a success.
'Kay.
The second check is going to be an appearance check.
Appearance?
What?
Appearance.
Oh.
Dang.
It's going to be.
I've never rolled that.
Yeah. But it's going to be an appearance check.
That is 44 out of 70.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the appearance check.
Apps.
And
Yeah.
the third check is going to be a con check.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be POW, appearance, con.
And that is
Con.
53 out of 70.
Con.
Yeah. 'Cause I know those are like 3 really good stats for you, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Is that what the D&D playing Raven says? Con.
Star Trek D&D. Con.
Yes.
Spelled with an H. With
Um,
a K.
So, what is your immediate reaction?
My immediate reaction would be to get the hand off of her neck, and if need be, pull her away.
Okay.
But
So
the priority is the hand on the neck and pull it off.
perfect. You reach forward and you grab the arm. So I'm going to start off the check with you with POW, as you're now
What the fuck?
You're now included in the connection.
Ah!
Okay.
He wouldn't have thought of that.
It's immediate reflex.
Oh no. That's not what I was.
You failed.
What is your POW?
Oh, but POW's an 80.
What'd you roll?
It's fantastic. That's a 99.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's well, technically, it's not a critical fumble.
It's not.
It is not.
Now
Not
we're
a critical fumble.
Now we're going to go with the appearance check.
Debating we want to no.
Just go for it.
accept
Just
I
fucking
should
go.
accept it. The appearance check. My appearance is actually not great. 65.
That's still pretty good.
57 to 65.
Hey!
Pass that one.
Then it's a con.
Okay, so I don't
It's 3.
change how I look then?
No, it's that.
The con is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appearance is also how I denote sort of natural charisma.
that makes sense.
66. Get out of
So
it.
the only one
Hey.
failed was the power.
Yeah, huh?
Was the power.
Okay.
Do I want to
No.
push it?
No.
No? Accept the failure?
Yes.
Oh, actually, no, let's go back. Yeah. If you want to push that roll, you can. But if you fail.
I might learn a thing. I'm okay with losing some sanity if I learn something. I will fail.
Oh, it's more than sanity at this point.
Okay.
If you push this roll and fail, something.
No. I'm if I don't push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's completely up to you. I don't
Alright,
care.
I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna find it.
Okay. No, my point is, if you push a roll and then you fail,
It's worse. I know.
it's worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Just
It's
accept,
a critical
just
failure.
accept what has happened.
Wow. Accept the chaos.
Yes.
Something has a plan for you. We don't know what
wanna
it
see
is.
what happens. I'll lose the sanity to find out.
Yeah.
So what happens is this: Simon and Althea, you both sort of just look at each other because what you see is Gohl lying down on the ground with his arm laid against Agatha's neck, eyes white, eyes rolled up. Then you see Agatha sitting next to Gohl's head with her head back with the eyes white. You saw Amos jump forward and grab Gohl's arm, and then he's just standing, slightly hunched over to grab, and then his head is back with eyes white. What is your immediate reaction? Because Simon's just like, oh, that ain't good.
My immediate reaction is to turn to Simon, go and get Marion and Alistair. I don't care where they are or if they're asleep. We need them, and we need them now. Go and get them.
Sure. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And he leaves. Simon leaves. Althea.
Oh no.
At this point, I need you to make another PAL roll with a penalty die.
Why?
I sent it.
Why?
Okay, I did send someone for help though.
Yes.
And they are the most magic capable people. Fortunately.
With a penalty die.
With a pen.
Yeah. This is actually because of the situation.
We might all die right now.
Or just lose sand.
We're all gonna die.
Oh.
What'd you get?
Critical fumble.
No,
96 out of 70.
96.
Now, is this still related to yellow, right?
Yes.
I was gonna say it's still a fail either way.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The other dice was a 20,
Cool.
right?
Awesome.
No.
Now, I don't need to talk about what you're going to do because you don't know what you're going to do. As now I move over.
Marion.
This is so bad. What have I done? Why did I do this?
Tried to help.
I tried to. It's the last time I tried to. It's not gonna be the last time.
Suggestion to anyone making bingo cards: why did I do this?
Fuck.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm really not.
So. Marion.
Hi.
You at this point would be asleep in bed. You hear a soft knock on the door. That wakes you up. It's soft. It's a soft knock. Nobody's going to barge in.
Get
but
up.
you hear Simon's voice.
Put a robe on. Open the door.
Yeah. And you see, Simon's like, Marion, we really need you.
What's happening?
Grab your robe. Weird stuff.
Satanic.
This is Simon. Weird stuff in the basement. They're all in some kind of trance and stuff. We should probably go down and take a look. Yeah.
In some sort of trance?
Alistair already
induced?
headed down.
Is there some sort of chemical agent? Is there some?
Oh no! We were messing around with powers we shouldn't have been. Yeah.
No.
There's some kind of weird connection.
We didn't know.
There's some kind of weird. There's some weird connection down there. We were trying to get information out of Gohl, and Gohl somehow affected Agatha, which affected Amos.
This is coming from Gohl.
Yeah, some kind of weird Egyptian thing.
Simon,
Yeah.
this might be a bad idea, and I don't fully understand why it would be a good idea.
I don't think we could make any worse ideas or plans, yeah.
Would it help to have a book?
Oh god.
I mean, I have my book of giraffes. No. Oh, it's full of interesting facts.
Let's summon a giraffe.
Possibly something in Dervermis that we just got, or in Agatha's book, which broke you and Amos previously out of a trance, or Gohl's journal, or even one of
Alistair?
Aloysius Goodyear's books. Perhaps
think
there's
that would
information that we could.
I think that would take too much time. I woke up Alistair first. Soon as he
All right,
heard,
well, let's
soon as he
go.
heard about Agatha, he took off running.
Let's go.
He took off running. But we got.
He's a good
wait.
man.
And then he pulls up the Gohl's sketchbook. And he's like, "Well, I do have this one," and he just hands it over to you.
Take
Maybe
it.
there's something interesting in there.
All right,
As you
let's go.
Oh, wait!
that's the one that watched She-Who in the Weird.
Do a trance in the breakfast ballroom holding.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh
We're
no!
all gonna die.
Everybody's gonna have white eyeballs.
This is amazing.
This is awful.
I only
This is how
have
this
one.
game ends.
This is how.
This is how it ends.
Only have one.
As we're walking, I'm going to quickly skim through the book,
Yeah.
and knowing that, I'm gonna. And you can say that I don't if you want, but knowing that I know which particular page caused myself and Agatha to get into a trance in the breakfast ballroom.
Yeah.
Can I use that information to try and find a spell that is similar enough that might help?
So I would like you now. I would actually have you roll me a code breaking roll. Okay. I'm gonna go with the code breaking.
Oh, yeah.
With the scratches and everything.
Yes.
Just
That
the,
does make sense, actually.
All right. Ooh, gross. That's an 84 out of 56.
of course, Liz.
Yes, it is.
Of course.
We've all been doing it so far.
Yes.
Speak
yes.
for yourself.
But no, it's fine. But I'm not trying. It's just.
Your eyes roll back in your head.
No. But as you're looking at it, and it's got like,
And I'm in a hurry.
yeah, because it has some, but also it's almost like wax underneath. Whereas the Aloysius's book, actually, you can see the scratches, but this book, I believe, the sketchbook Gohl's I described many episodes ago about how it's almost like it's like waxed, so you can't read it, but there's something there. I believe that's.
It's not actually written, it's scratched into the wax.
Yeah,
You kind of
yes.
have to hold it on an angle or do a rubbing or something.
But you know, you don't really find any like spells in this book to a point. But you keep skimming through it, working on it as you're sort of led by Simon down into the Hannibal Lecter's dungeon, Gohl's prison, if you will. And then we're gonna go over to Agatha
Okay.
and Amos, what you see is a little bit disorienting, and it almost feels like you're incorporeal. It's like you're not. It's just sight. It's just like a pan type of thing,
Like a dream?
Or an astral
Almost like
projection.
watch.
or similar to like an astral projection
Okay.
type of thing. But what you see is it seems like you're moving across a night sky.
Oh.
You can just see stars off in the distance, and the placement of stars and everything else. Agatha, I'd like you to make a note, just so we don't forget, that with your second sight,
Okay.
the placement of stars can be important to denote time, but it would need to be researched.
Okay.
Where are the constellations in the night sky? Where are the... So you sort of trying to lock away that information, but I'd like you to make a note, maybe put an asterisk on it, because it would be something I don't want us to forget.
Second sight placement of stars can denote time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And it just seems to be panned over, and then it's almost like it pans down slightly, and it's night, and you see like a valley. Very lush. Not desert-like at all. And you see a pyramid rising out of the valley. Almost like it's pointing toward the sky.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that look on your face right now. That one.
You hear screams echoing on the wind. Horrible screams of pain coming from the valley. And then, out of nowhere, it's almost super quick as it's a night. You see the sun very quickly, just like, thunk, like just shoot up, like out of nowhere. And this light burning down through the valley, burning the vegetation to ash, and you're almost blinded. Both Amos and Agatha, you're almost blinded by the searing light as you do snap out of this connection.
Okay.
But it's just something that, it's just there's no like agency. It's more just something you see, and this light burning out through. This slight smell of sulfur. There's a slight smell of sulfur as you both snap out and like jump back from Gohl, whose hand is just drops away from Agatha, and then you jump back, and what you see is Althea in the room with you. Okay, standing over the three of you, right? Because you're sort of hunched down. You're there. Althea, you seem to be standing over them. And you've got your arms sort of out, almost like rounded. And you're just glaring, and Althea's eyes are slightly goldish in color. It's like there's these gold flecks in the eyes. And then, Althea, Your arms come back and the gold flakes dissipate and you go back to yourself. You feel drained. Somewhat drained. As Alistair comes into the room. Right? Because when Simon left, would the door have been locked again? I don't think it was said.
No.
So Simon just comes into the room. And he's like, what's going on? Is everyone okay? And you all seem to be of your senses. Amos, though, you feel just a little bit disoriented. More disoriented than you should be. Although everyone should be disoriented, but you know what I mean? Just a little bit more, but this is sort of what... Yeah. That's sort of what happens. Althea seems to have a little bit deeper of a tan.
I'm glad one of us does.
Can I crawl to my feet at all?
Yeah. You can get up for sure.
As Alistair, real quick, as Alistair comes on in, we're all in the room.
Yeah.
Is the inner door open?
The inner door is open and the outer door is open.
I rush over and I close us all into the inner room.
Okay.
And then before slumping to the ground. And that's all I'm going to do.
I have one question. Is there anything different about the scarring on my neck or no?
Okay, so I'm gonna deal with what Amos is doing first. As you jump up and you go over to grab and slam the door, and the rest of you see this. Who's the failed power roll, correct? As you go to grab the door and close it, you do envision that you close the door. Amos just grabs the knob and then steps back and then falls down, like you said. But in your mind, you close that door. That door isn't closed. But everyone's there. Everyone's there. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's not as big of a,
Yeah.
But it's, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to move on to Agatha, who, what were you doing? Sorry.
Well, he had grabbed.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Here.
Yeah.
Was there anything that has changed or?
So you put your hand up to feel it.
Yeah.
No, it seems to be just that
It's still
wound that was there before, but you can't see it.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
As you're up, it just seems to be. Did you want to point it out to somebody to see?
I'm sure I will see a mirror at some point, but
Yeah.
I'm going to attend to Gohl to make sure. What is his state right now?
Gohl seems to be asleep.
He's actually
He
asleep.
does seem to be asleep.
Okay. I'm just gonna make sure he's comfortable, but I'm gonna get up and then I'm gonna help you up, and then and then we're gonna get out of the room and then lock the door behind.
Taken.
Oh yeah, taking everybody.
Take
out.
it
Yeah,
between
and
over this?
you seem fine. In your mind though, I'm not asking you to put another tick in or anything. Some part of you thinks you just saved your friends. That's what it seems like to you. Right? You're not sure how, you're not sure why, but there's a part of your brain that's like, whew, that was a close one. Like that.
We heard that.
And then Marion and Simon comes into the room.
Is everyone all right?
I'm going to say everyone's left the prison itself and has closed and locked that door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What was that?
Is everyone all right?
No. Yeah.
Sit down, Amos. Simon, do you know what's wrong with him? What happened?
They almost died.
How?
We were like I said, we were screwing around with powers maybe that we shouldn't have been, or we had a bit more. We didn't expect it to go the way that it did.
And
It seems everyone's fine.
in all honesty, it started with questions. Gohl had gotten into a fit. We came down. I was asked to come down and calm him, and we decided to ask questions while he was in a meditative state. But then something went awry.
And apparently affected Amos more than anyone else, which itself is extremely concerning. Do we need to get you into...
You look pretty.
And every time she motions over to me, I got the flask out. I'm like, I'm good. Drink.
Are you?
Yeah.
And
Simon
I
looks
look at Simon. Is
You catch Simon looking at Amos going like, giving that little click and a wink.
Good. Just need to take a break. That's all it is.
Yeah,
What's in that?
Water oil and WD-40.
it's
I
just
don't know whether to believe you or not.
even though it
However
doesn't.
matters.
Simon jumps up. Even though it doesn't really affect us much anymore. It's we like the taste. We like the taste. Yeah.
Regardless,
Well, explains the
is he
what.
going to be okay?
Oh, I mean, that remains
Things
to be
don't.
seen.
The only things that tend to affect the two of you are deeply concerning.
At this point, you all notice as well that Alistair has moved over to Agatha's side and sort of has his arm on your shoulder, and it's like
Right.
looking at you worriedly. Yeah.
Right.
Aw.
What you? Simon said you all had entered some sort of trance. Do you remember anything? Did you remember what started it or what ended it?
What was the question again that you had asked? It was
Oh, yeah,
Who
asked
were
him
you?
Who the fuck is
who
he?
is this?
Who is the last
Oh, okay, so
Oh.
there's a question whether Gohl. There was always a question whether there was multiple personalities with Gohl, the way he talks, all of that kind of stuff, and some of the questions were pointed in whether that was the case. So there was a voice that came on, sounded a lot different from everything else,
Oh, more confident.
and he asked who it was, and it was something that Gohl has buried deep down inside of him, and it was going to cause stress. I made a call that we didn't want to ask any further questions, and I tried to take him out of the trance, and then something happened. I don't exactly know what happened, but he grabbed me over my scar, and then reactively you grabbed him,
Yeah.
and similar to when we were in trance or whatever, sometimes we saw things. I'm assuming you, I don't know if we saw the same thing.
What'd you say?
I saw a night sky pyramid in valley,
Yep.
screams,
Yeah.
sun.
You're
Yeah.
lucky I was here.
What did you do?
And Althea just blurts that out.
What the
How
hell
did you get them out?
Besides opening the door and not locking the back door.
Yeah.
How did you get them out?
I don't.
Honestly, the way I was brought out of it was the sun came and burnt everything, and it almost like you having a flashlight in your eyes. You woke up. That's all I remember.
Did you feel the heat? Do you feel any pain?
I don't feel any pain. I just feel like I woke up from almost like a jolted, like startled. That's all I know.
I'm going upstairs for a drink. How about we let Albert sleep and we'll just go upstairs.
As this is happening, Amos is going to not really chime in unless asked to chime in, letting Agatha do all the explaining. Do I need to make an investigation roll to notice? Am I beginning to notice the sun tanning qualities of Althea's physique?
You've all noticed that. That's been well
Is it
done.
more now than it was earlier?
Maybe.
I do live in Boston, I mean.
But it's getting more fair features and more
Yes.
lighter hair. But you've all noticed that for a while, and you've all noticed. Well, you all have things. But
Have we as players
Mhm.
ever heard in passing that reference to yellow book, all that good stuff? I know that there's been like in the past, but I'm just trying to recall, would I have a basis of knowledge, Zamos, of yellow flecks and eyes, deserts, Canadian yellow?
There was a reference to a yellow book when we first went to the New England Center of Antiquities.
Yes.
yeah, well, it was there, and it was yeah.
There was some things pointed for my character that I had noticed, but I don't think you were there.
Amos saw me freak out in the
No,
back
it's
of
okay.
the Packard
It's okay.
26
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. What was that story?
Amos saw me freaking out over the lost book in
Yeah.
Packard 26.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yes, 100%. So that is well documented. The other thing is, you were down to the theater at one point, correct?
Yes.
Right. So you saw the desert backdrop. And
Gotcha,
everything
okay.
else. So yeah.
So I can make certain. My character's intelligent. If I could,
Yeah,
I could
you
make
all
some
have a general idea.
Intuitions. Okay. The entire time he doesn't stop looking at Althea.
Yeah. No.
I agree. We should probably get out of here for now, as long as Gohl is safely locked up. But although I am not comfortable leaving those, and I point at the chalk chicken scratches up on the wall, in place.
That is a great fucking point.
But we do need to make a record of that.
I got a camera.
But yeah, you do have camera.
Write down the picture that will be developed overnight.
Oh, thank God.
While
There's
he's
staff members who can do it.
taking
So
the
just write down you
picture-
have a pic of it.
Okay.
Not that you have a picture that needs to be developed. It's you have the picture.
While he's taking the picture, can I roll another code breaking to see if I have a general idea of what
Sure.
it means?
I will allow it now. Oh, sorry,
well, yeah,
Althea.
so I was going to ask now that Mary and I have taken note of it, if it looks familiar to either of us. But yeah,
It would not be familiar to Althea as such.
because Marion's the one who's been like studying the books that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Yeah.
the connection wouldn't be at that point. It's something specific about code breaking.
Okay.
It's not about what it is. It's about. I'll explain it once she succeeds. Yeah.
That is a success. That's a 19.
Okay. So what you do realize is that even though, and you'll understand why it needed to be code breaking, is you're looking at it and you're trying to read it and you're trying to find connections and you're trying to find different ways that they're squiggled or different ways that it's this or small line, big line, blah 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 blah, and you realize that it's not as much a read with your eyes language. It's sort of like Braille. It's a tactile, close your eyes, as if this would be something written in a very dark place.
Oh.
And you're like, oh, it's more of a tactile thing. And as you rub your finger across what's in the book, it's like even within the lines, some ridges are deeper or higher, and you can get a feeling, oh, no, this is more tactile. So I would say that tomorrow, hopefully, if you can devote a 4-hour block of time, you would have a better way of being able to read it. Okay, so make a note of that as well. Althea?
My thing was that I didn't think Althea would be able to read it,
Okay.
because that's definitely a Marion thing.
Yeah.
Does it look familiar, like the chicken scratches? Like,
Oh, it does look familiar
But I've
too.
seen it in
Also,
the margin.
what is in? Yeah, you've seen that in also in the margins of Aloysius Goodyear's journal for sure. You do recognize, and it's also what Regal was outside of Silver Twilight Lodge
Yeah.
was marking into the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to, so yeah, once Amos takes a picture of it, I'm just going to say, nobody go anywhere right yet. And I'm going to open the door and go in and start wiping it off.
Gohl seems to just be asleep. You go in there and you wipe away the chalk. Yeah.
And then we head out.
Yeah, and you go up to the. You're all pretty exhausted. But I will. Yeah, you can go to the BBR, grab a snack. Here's how I'm going to put it. Because remember, you need sleep. And you're going to be on the go the next day. If you choose to discuss this in the BBR now, it's checks in the morning to see if you have penalty dice on stuff you do the next day.
Oh, we might as well sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no point not sleep.
Right? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Amos, actually, you'd be able to make the check with the bonus die because you don't seem to need as much sleep as you used to.
But if we're all going to chill
Yeah.
and then reconvene in the morning over coffee and to share notes, then that would be...
Let's just say you all decide, okay, we could talk about this now, but we're dropping on our feet. We need a rest. You all go to sleep.
Yeah.
Is that okay for me to say?
Mm-hmm.
You all wake up fairly decently, 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning, and then you all meet up in the BBR and we can start off from that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
And
you're
it's still the day that Vincent Caputo is going to be dropping by.
It is still the day that Vincent Caputo is going to be dropping by.
Right.
As you're all in the BBR, and there's a great spread of food laid out and muffins and stuff like that. And as usual, Skeet's sitting in a round table off a bit to the side with his orange juice, and he's like eating a muffin. Okay. Simon is there, Alistair's there. And you're all sitting around this large. It's what. Remember, I mentioned there was this large oak sort of type of table that
It's
you're
been a
all.
hot minute since we've been in here.
So you're all sitting around that table.
What are you talking about? We're here all the time.
As players.
Yeah, similar. If you remember as well, in the Silver Twilight Lodge, City Silver Twilight Lodge, there was a table just like this there as well. In that, remember?
Yeah.
At one point, there was a table just like this. Yeah, it's like this big ass fancy table.
I'm just
And you're all
gonna
sitting around eating. Yeah.
got my ginormous cup of coffee. I'm just gonna say, the place that you saw on the in the trance, it was purely visual. You said you didn't feel the heat from the sun. You didn't get hurt in any way.
I don't think we felt it. We just saw a smell of sulfur, but that was pretty well lit.
Althea does appear to have been slightly affected by the sun, so I was concerned.
But did you have a vision of it?
Oh, you weren't there?
No. I
And what do you
don't
remember
think
between standing outside of the glass wall and being inside the glass wall?
How did you get them out?
I
Can you go ahead
don't know.
and flip this for me and call a 1 or a 2? Call it before you flip.
1.
What'd you get?
2.
Okay, cool. Hand it over.
Dun dun dun.
Suddenly, you are flooded with a vision in your mind of the memory of what you did. And what this memory in your mind shows you, it's like, oh yeah, you were just tired. You just needed to go to sleep. All you did was walk over very quickly, almost like, fight or flight or something kicked in, a protective let's be honest, it's Althea. But an instinct. No, you know what I mean. I mean, what was the shaker? I'm just saying, like, Althea, rich bitch.
I have a feeling I know what the feeling is. It wasn't protective, and that's not an Althea thing.
No, it does feel like a protective
Like a
thing,
protective.
and you were worried about your friends,
Mm-hmm.
and you came over and you opened up the door and you came in and you shook them awake somewhat. That's the memory. Oh, it's so vivid. Definitely happened that way. But now you have that fill-in memory that just comes to you. Oh, I was just really tired. Nothing supernatural about it at all.
Oh wait. I think I just went in through the door and I think I took Agatha by the shoulders and shook her or something.
And your eyes didn't roll back into your head like mine.
I wonder if it was because you were already gone, and it was too late. The vision had already started.
I'm going
like
to
they
ask
couldn't
some
connect.
under-the-bus throwy questions, so I understand if you're not comfortable. Where's the yellow book from the New England Center of Antiquities?
Somewhere safe.
It should be stored with the other artifacts.
Safest place here.
And that is?
It's in my father's study.
That's not the safest place here.
Sure
It
ain't.
is the safest place here. It's the safest place for me.
It should be stored with the other artifacts.
No. I don't want to be near them.
Anyone else?
You don't want to be near them?
Well, none of us should want to be near them, should we?
Well,
mean this
it is an artifact
respectfully.
that nobody should want to be near.
No, and it's safe. It's where it should be.
Because the yellow specks in your eyes after us waking up definitely doesn't tell us anything about how you were able to make it out of there just fine.
What? And is there something reflective here, like a pewter jug?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I'll just what? And I'll pick it up and I'll look.
Yeah, you're
Not right now.
Your eyes seem fine.
There were no yellow flecks in her eyes when I arrived.
It was right as you came in, as we were snapping out of it. She had done something. The hands were up, and there was gold in the eyes. All right. This is not meant to be accusatory, Althea. I just want to draw everyone's attention to something. Anyone else been burdened with tanning lately? Going out into sun-bleached skin, like you still seem pale. I'm pretty pale. You're a bookkeeper, right?
It's
Althea here.
spring, of course we're all pale.
Althea's not. I haven't seen you out tanning once. And yet, you're pretty sun-influenced.
Alistair speaks. Right? Because Alistair and Simon are there. Alistair's like, well, okay. So, I mean, just so we're all clear, he says in a very charming manner, very disarming, just so we're all clear on what's happening here. I think everybody is dealing with some different effects of investigating and the experiences that we've had. And we're all familiar about historically what happened to a point with Aloysius Goodyear. Right, because that has came out to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about how he tried to do some kind of ritual, without saying its name. He tried to do some kind of ritual, but in that last moment,
Right.
he fought it off and he made the right decision. And we don't really sure what happened after that point. We're not really sure at all. But it's fair to say that that type of connection has gone to his granddaughter, Althea, and she seems to be fighting it off and maintaining control as well. And one of the agreements about having a Silver Twilight Lodge, sorry. He doesn't say it that. It's not like he's like, oops, because that people are going to take that.
Yeah.
He's like, with the New England Center of Antiquities here, was that the theater would be left alone, the Yellow Book would be left alone, and that from me and Simon's observation, Althea seems to be doing okay. It could be Althea did something to save you all.
It sounds like. It sounds like whatever it is.
He's not saying it in an accusatory. He's not
No,
saying it in
100%.
Yeah, because
It does sound like there's something about you, Althea, that prevented whatever it is that Gohl or the entity within Gohl from affecting you.
If I may, I don't think, with all the best intentions, I don't think it's Althea doing it. And let me start by explaining what happened last night. That has nothing to do with Althea, alright? I'm going to tie this all back together. I went in to talk to Gohl because I've been meeting, it's been a while since I've been in there, and a line of questioning about why he's picky and choosy. We've all seen the records of that book that we took, that ship's log from the Silver Twilight Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 names that weren't carved in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That were carved out. There was a Dirk Peters, now an Arthur Gordon Pym, and an Augustus Bernard. We've since seen another name, in the Divernus, and Ludwig Prynn, right?
I don't know how much of a connection there is between Ludwig Prynn and the other.
Last night
from
we
the
found
other
a
book.
connection. Last night there was a connection. You saw a phrase in the book,
Yes.
something about a gate and safety.
Yes.
According to Alistair, or according to Simon. And Gohl was in the midst of all the things that he was saying. Some of it was in Egyptian. And a rough translation indicates that the similar words were used, if perhaps maybe a different version of that phrase.
Were we ever able to find the... Oh, there's a term for this, and it isn't manifest. Like the route of the ship, the ship.
No,
we inferred that it went to Antarctica, I think.
I think that was the...
We inferred Antarctica and Egypt.
Did we infer Egypt?
There was something about the manifest that we did have that implied something Egyptian.
Okay, then never mind.
But I have a wild theory that whilst Gohl didn't confirm my theory, he did not dissuade the theory. He did not say anything about the negative of this. And I just want us all on the same page before I continue on with Althea here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone else noticed that Gohl sounds like he's way older than he should?
He has the same affect to his bearing that you and Simon do. The idea, the implication that he is not the age he appears to be.
Well, I'm definitely the age that I am. I don't know in 30 years if that's going to be the same. I think that our Albert Gohl, much like, and I'm going to look over at Skeet and just be like, Skeet, and if you feel any uncomfortable in this conversation, feel free to leave at any point.
And he's on like a table away from you guys, in a little round table that he sits right next to the breakfast buffet place.
Right.
And he seems to be eating his 3rd muffin. And washing that one orange juice. He's like,
I'm going to start talking about Walter.
Oh. He stands up, grabs a muffin, grabs a jug of orange juice.
Another one.
I'm going to go work on the cars there. None of you worry about it. Those cars are going to be fine. And he just walks out.
Thank you, Skeet.
We already know that Walter Corbett has used numerous aliases over at least a century's span.
Yes.
I believe that Dirk Peters is one of his aliases. Corbett's.
Yeah.
As
Does
such,
the timeline work out?
yeah, quite.
Okay.
And I've got a red yarn chart to show it.
Yeah, that was also a
We
point
confirm.
that is
We
confirmed.
confirm that the Dirk Peters and Walter Corbett are the same person.
Yes.
Yeah, that was confirmed.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Now,
No, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it is.
he's a Sin Eater. Pretty sure, or at least some form of comparable influence. He's able to pull that ichor from him, that black shit. Here,
Skeet
pass
is
me
not a sin eater anymore.
I don't know. Maybe not. We haven't really checked. But can I grab a knife real quick? I apologize for the lack of sanitary-ness in this, and he'll actually cut.
I immediately hide my breakfast.
Oh.
Comes out.
So it's not pure black, but it is definitely a dark crimson with black in it.
Yeah.
But it's not pure black. You've all noticed this when you've done surgery on Amos from time to time,
we
that
just
it's more
looked at
black.
your arm.
I won't cut a fresh cut, but like anyone else notice that my blood's a little blacker than usual?
That
And as you hold it up, and you can see there's a little bit of black blood coming down, it just almost immediately starts closing over.
And then I'll clean it up. Okay. So I believe that Walter Corbett is in some way Sin Eater. Either was, is, don't know. But there's some factor there. What if we all know that Albert Gohl is as well? This we know, right? That factorially lines up. He makes statements that he's older than he is. There's just certain things that he says. So what if he is Augustus Bernard from the boat? He mentioned, well, one of the line of questioning from last night, he talked a lot about this idea that there was a ship. There was something he found on a ship, or found him on a ship, him and his friends. And he didn't go into more detail than that. So somewhere in Gohl's distant memory, that is some kind of importance to him, something happened on a ship. Okay? Which leaves another name unaccounted for.
Arthur Gordon Pym.
How I'm a little hazy on the Goodyear family genealogy and how old your father and your grandfather are. But it is possible that one of the two of them is Arthur Gordon Pym. Or at least used as a surname or an alias.
My father died.
Long
How long
after. Your father would have been too young to be to be Arthur Gordon Pym. The ship's log was from the 1880s.
1880s. That's not that far ago.
No, but
I believe it has been discussed before about the potential of Aloysius Goodyear, or if not outright said, of being Arthur Gordon. I believe
Yeah.
that has.
Yeah.
it would have been Aloysius, not.
I think it was maybe with
Father's
Barnabas
name.
or something that was brought up.
Yes, the Barnabas made some reference to it.
And might have been, or alluded to it, but over the last while, it's like, it's just things you've all sort of discussed, and it's like, it seems quite possible for Aloysius Goodyear to be.
What would that mean? If we know, if let's assume you are correct for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
If three of the if two of the individuals of the three on that ship were Sin Eaters, do we have any indication that Aloysius Goodyear was?
Here is where the discomfort is going to come in. I apologize in advance, Althea. If I'm right, Dirk Peters is Walter Corbett, Arthur Gordon Pym is Gordon Goodyear, or is Aloysius Goodyear, and Augustus Bernard is Albert Gohl. Albert did not deny to us that he was Augustus, or at least one of the. It's clear that there's many.
He did not confirm either. He was
He did not confirm.
confused enough that he
confirmed-
could have just not been aware of the question.
He was very aware of the questions before and after the state that we put him in. But he did make references to memories that are comparable to these, and if he is not that person, He's got a lot of similarities. That being said, he acknowledged that he has seen Dirk Peters recently. And he acknowledges that Gordon Pym is not dead.
If the ritual that Aloysius stopped, out of respect for your family, I think I'm not going to question what that ritual was, but where was it meant to take place?
In the theater.
I point down to the basement.
Yeah.
Has Marion seen the theater yet?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, I've seen where the ritual is supposed to take place.
So if that's the case, he could be trapped there in much the same manner as Father O'Malley.
What is the relationship, and he does ask this out like the table, just generally to draw a conclusion. What is the relationship between Walter Corbett's house and Walter Corbett?
He's trapped there. He is the sentience that maintains its state of terror.
What was in the walls?
The many things, but primarily the black ichor.
Which we've discovered the black ichor that we've been dealing with is portions of Walter Corbett.
Yes.
The way that Gohl said it, he implied that Arthur Gordon Pym is not strictly alive in the sense that he is that he's seen him. He referenced that Arthur Gordon Pym is in the walls of the house.
We have broken down walls in this house and haven't found black ichor.
The basement has shown clearly ichor. I'm not saying I got all the answers, but if I'm onto something, and Gohl has been really good at denying that he knows a thing. He's less clear about accepting that when he does know. He's clear when he doesn't know a thing.
So something Amos says triggers a thought in Althea. So it's the thought that, like, at some point, Aloysius Goodyear, Dirk Peters, Arthur Gordon Pym, regardless of who Gohl is and who he isn't, that these people were together, right, and knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, it's going to trigger two thoughts.
Sure.
One, we already know that Skeet is Dirk Peters, right?
Yep, confirmed.
Skeet knows the house. He knew how to find me in the theater, in the halls outside.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely knew my grandfather. The second thought is, okay, when we brought Gohl back here, so Gohl's always, as long as we've known him, he's always worn the same clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we brought him back here, I'm assuming that we would have let him bathe and maybe wear something else that was clean, or laundered his clothing or something.
Yeah.
We would have offered.
Is that clothing still here?
His original clothing.
Yes.
That's a fair point. You can talk to the staff about that.
I want to see it. And the reason I want to see it is because you have a tanned colored leather coat with a name label inside it, or with initials inside it.
What were the initials?
AG
It's Aloysius Goodyear.
or A Goodyear. I'm just curious to know if that would be a common practice. I want to see if there's labels inside his clothing.
Okay,
That's fair.
that's fair.
Thank you for listening to The Call. Our next episode will air Tuesday, December 10th with Spacers, our sci-fi podcast's next episode Tuesday, December 3rd. Both shows will air at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on YouTube with a live chat premiere before going up on all of our audio services just 1 hour later. For our Ko-fi subscribers, our next Fireside Chat will be Thursday, November 28th. As usual, we'd love to thank all of our donators over on Ko-fi, including Noah, 3 Slugs in a Trenchcoat, Ed Lore, Rosa, Tyler, The Weejay, James, Matt Calgill, Blizzard Warning, Sydney, Baba Yaga, Preston, TJ, Alec, No Demons Loud, Autumn, Roland Arts, and a welcome to Chris H. Your players for tonight were Elizabeth Wells, Jessica Coles, Lindsay Delansky, and Zach Barrett. Your GM or keeper was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.